Hi, Julie Torrance here. So I'm working on another watercolor, and what I have here are leaves that I took last year. I just laid them on my printer on the screen, and I scanned them or made a copy of them. And so they're just paper, but they're great to use. So I have a large, couple of mediums, and a small. Use what you have. Maybe you are fantastic on drawing leaves. I'm not. So that's how I like to do it. All right. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Amazon Basics watercolor. I'm lining up my ruler, grabbing a pencil. I want to go 5.5 inches. I want to find the middle. And so I find it in two places. And then I just join those two lines. Now I am making my watercolor for me to scan, and then I'm going to be putting them into a journal. And it's a journal that I want to write in. It's a journal for me. But I want to make the pages, and I don't want to use printables or digitals. I'm going to be making them myself. All right, so the way I'm going to start, and it's autumn. Today is September 2. I'm going to start by tracing out this large maple leaf, and you know, it's only made out of paper. So my pencil's going to go under it, over it. I'm just getting the basic shape. That's all. And yes, I'm going over the midway point, but that's okay. So how are you? Today is Labor Day. So no mail, no garbage pickup. Lots of stores are closed, which I'm grateful for. There's more of that here on the west side of the state of Michigan than there was when I lived on the east side of Michigan. So it's kind of nice. Okay, there's one. I'm going to do the same thing over there. I can see where I kind of lost a few. That's okay. I'm going to do the same thing over here. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to flip it. And that way it'll look different. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit lower. You know, changing it up a bit. And again, whoops, these are guidelines. Now I'm working, like I said, on a 8.5 by 11 sheet of Amazon Basic watercolor paper. Use what you have, and you can easily adapt this to something like a card front or a journaling card. You know, you don't have to be making a journaling page like I am for a journal. Adapt it. I'm really trying to show you different techniques of using your watercolors. Now, you don't have to have watercolor paper, but I do believe you'll find it frustrating, especially if you just tried to use printer paper. Okay, did I get them all here? I just want to, okay, you know, they're overlapping, and I don't want to get this all wet, and then I'm kind of confused. I'm confused enough. All right, I'm going to take, I think, this leaf. And I realize it's going off the edge. So did this. That's okay. And I'm going to just draw in this one. Yeah, this was a fun one to fussy cut out, but it's all right. I like fussy cutting. If you don't like to fussy cut, pick a different kind of leaf than this wrinkly one or pokey one. Lots of little pokers sticking out. Good. That's nice. I think I'll put one over here. I'll turn it around again. I'm going to start and stop where the oak leaf is, I think. No, I think I'll do the whole thing. I change my mind as I work along. Sure do. We had a beautiful day yesterday. I was at my son and daughter-in-law's. So that was the Sunday before Labor Day. And even one of the neighbors, his children were playing at my grandson's house, but Dad called them home and they took off to go fly kites. How fun. I mean, that is the kind of weather we're having. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And now I think I'm going to use this leaf, picking, different shapes. This isn't a particularly complicated one, and we're not going to be worrying about veins. We're not going to be worrying about anything. Nothing to worry about. This is for us. And I think I'll put one over here. Okay. Now I realize that these leaves were all green, but it's autumn now, and the leaves are turning here in Michigan, even though it's only the 2nd of September. I'll put that on the side, put it away. Okay, step number 1. I am going to wet down this whole paper. I've got a big brush, but even before I do that, I've got a mister. If you don't have a mister, just go with your big brush. But this is just from hair products. I do not have a $20 spray bottle. I don't have a spray bottle that has a fancy name on it. It's a Garnier hair product bottle. I had it for years. Okay, I want to start with the lightest things, and I want to go to the darkest. Light in the middle, where I'll be probably doing most of my journaling, and then just a little bit lighter. So first, overall color. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to go with a yellow. So I'm picking a color that's called Cad Yellow Light. I'm putting it in one of my little mixing spots here on my palette. You can just use a paper plate, but I definitely want this watery. I think I'm going to add just another slurp of that and water. Okay. And I'm just going over the whole thing. Yep. So the biggest brush you have, maybe you've got like some kind of a brush left over from when you painted the living room or something. Get it. Use that. Whatever. And I don't care if there's some variation, some lighter spots and some darker spots, but I'd like, if I can, to pretty much eliminate white. Now, there's nothing wrong with white. I'm always saying embrace the white. But for this, I want color. I'm going to dunk into that color again and water it down. And like I say, I don't care if it's streaky. I don't care about any of that. Now, if I was doing this just on my own without you watching, I probably would have rolled my eraser over all this and lightened it up. But I want you to be able to see. And I really don't mind the sketchy marks. All right. Now, I have on my palette left over some kind of an orangey color. I don't want too much more color than that. I'm going into a color called Flame Red, which is orange. I'm going to add a scoop of that yellow. Little water. Yeah, I know, it's already plenty watery, but we're going for wet. Watery. All right. Now, these are going to blend and blur a little bit. I'm going for the big leaves, the whole leaf, even where it overlaps. These two leaves are going to be the same color, the two large maple leaves. But again, that's where I'm kind of planning on doing some journaling. Once this is dry and I make a copy so that it's just on regular paper. This paper does not like to bend or fold. Most watercolor papers don't. You may be wondering why I marked the middle. Well, I'm not worried about marking it. I'm grabbing some more of that flame red, which is pumpkin orange, and another drop of that cad yellow that I had in there, and a lot of water. Okay. Not worried about, I'm not worried about anything, but I didn't want to fold this paper so that I would know where the middle is, because watercolor paper has sizing, which is kind of like starch. And you can break that coating and your paper can even crack. So for me, it's better to mark it. And when I fold this in half and put it in signatures, you're not going to notice it anyway. Okay. Now, I mean, I've got puddles of water here, and that's fine. I'm going to work on this leaf next. And I'm going to go into that yellow, but I'm just using it straight out of the pan. And again, it's going to be subtle. And yes, it's moving into the maple leaf. That's fine. I'm just going to move it more into the maple leaf. Yep. Just blurring it right over to the maple leaf. But not to that one. Nah. This yellow is flowing. Can you see way up here? It's all right. Way down here. And I'm just taking a dry brush and picking some of it up because I want it, I want you to be able to see the leaf some. Okay, good. I'm going to work on this one. And I'm going to go to that orange. Let me see if I can show you. I'm going to go to, this is that orange that I had used in the maple leaf. And I'm going to grab some madder red, which is kind of a rosy red. A little more. Okay. Now this is on the bitter edge, so probably won't be journaling on it, but it'll be light enough that if I wanted to, it would be fine. Nice. I think I'm going to do the same thing right up here. Can you see? Good. Nice. I'm going right in straight into burnt sienna. And I'm just going to dot a little of that on the edge. Change it up a little bit. Good. That's nice. Now, where this maple leaf is, I'm going to lift. I'm just picking up the paint with my brush and then taking my brush over to my paper towel. And I'm just lifting color, kind of drying it. The more times I go over it, the lighter it's going to get. Okay, I like that. I've got quite the puddle growing in the middle here. I'm just going to sweep it out. Nice. All right. And I think I'm going to take my brush, not so much wanting to lift color as I want to lift just some water. Just because it's really wanting to settle in one spot. And that spot can be anywhere. Okay, good. I think I'm going to lift a little more of this yellow. Just to make a demarcation around this yellow leaf. It's almost like I'm highlighting it, but barely. Little puddle there, little puddle here. Okay, good, good. I'm liking it. I've got this one. I'm going to go right into the English red because I know this is probably one of the driest spots. And as I said, the further out from the middle, the darker I want things. But everything overall is going to be pale and light. Okay, I am going into that red that I've used here, and I'm just going to dot some of this. Okay, good. All right. I am going to surprise you. I've got this brush. I grabbed another brush. Doesn't matter. I just want the handle, and we're going to do some splatters. I am very cautious about red splatters, but let's start out with the burnt sienna. And I'm just putting it on my tray. I don't have enough hands to pull the tray out, but I'm just watering it down some, and I'm going to splatter it. And this is very wet still, so the splatters are going to vary. Towards the edge, it's definitely drier, and the splatters are going to be more defined, I guess. Okay, I like that. I think that's great. Okay. I want another color. Something else to splatter these with. I'm looking at my tray. I just don't know if that orange, and we've got a lot of orange. I'm going to go with another brown. This one's called Umber. And it's a very transparent, lighter brown, almost a khaki-ish color, and I'm going to go gentle with it. Okay, I'm feeling an autumn vibe here, aren't you? All right, I'm rinsing out my brushes, and I'm not worried about not letting this blend and merge. I think it's done a good job. So I'm going to dry it and I'll be back. The painting's dry. Little bit of puddling on the washi. I can just kind of sop it up, but you can see it's starting to lift the washi tape from the heat. This was a lot wetter than some of the other paintings we've done together. I am going to pull the washi off because we're done with anything that I think is going to cause the paper to want to warp more. Now, when your paper really gets warpy, I'll show you what you can do. But let's get there we go. Let's get that off. And if you go on the back with your heat tool, often it will lay down more. I think it's curling more. That's okay. There, she's flattening out now. All right. So yeah, just try using your heat gun on the front, on the back, all that, and that'll help. Okay, I'm liking this very much. Now I'm going to start with just a little bit of shading right where we've got all those pencil marks. So I'm going to get rid of the cardboard. This is the pencil that I was using, and I am not going to draw. I am just taking my pencil and just making a little bit of shading. Very little. I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to give it a rub to make it even more blurry. Okay? And we're going around all of this, but I can go a little bit faster now that you kind of can get the hang of it. I'm not looking for any kind of a perfection. I am simply going over the leaf. I think I got 2 leaves going here. See, this is a different leaf. That's okay. We don't care. Okay, get my little cotton bud here. There's a device called a tortillon, and it's like a piece of paper that's been super tightly wound. And it's a blending tool. People use it with pencil drawings and charcoal drawings and things like that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's keep going. This one is going to go fast because it doesn't have all those ridges. If your cotton kind of wears off of the tip and you're scratching into it, turn it over, get another one. You don't want to be scratching and digging into your paper. Sawtooth, right? Now this one, I'm just going to create that little stem. And there we go. I'm going to turn this guy over. We're half done, folks. Now, I know this has taken a bit of a long time, but a lot of people get disappointed when you speed it up or leave out parts of the process. So I'm avoiding that on this video. Sometimes I do it, but I guess I'm taking turns for those that want me to speed up and those that want me to slow her down. This one is a slower down. This is just by the way, a number 2 pencil. There's nothing special about it. It's not some kind of an art pencil or anything like that. It's just a pencil. Like you buy for school. Nice. We're almost done. Another sawtooth. Do you think this is a nice autumn page? I think it is. Okay. Okay, Mr. Sawtooth. One more. And it's a fast one. Okay, now, I love it. I'm going to sign it. And then, let's get a pen, Julie. Here's one. And it's 9/20/24. I am going to scan this, and I'm going to show you what I mean for the last step. Okay, so what have we got going here? We just finished this, and I put it on my printer, scanned it, and now it's a piece of paper. We did this one on one video back. I did the same thing for this. So, not high tech. This one I will probably use in the middle of my journal because I kind of designed it that way. So I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm just going to save these till I have a journal's worth. But that'll be the middle, and then this will be a page in the journal. Remember, I marked it so that I would kind of know where the middle is. So if you're paging through the journal, it's going to be like, not like that. It's going to be like this. And we won't know what's over here yet. And then turn a page, and this can be, writing space. But it's autumn. Now, if you want to see this, I will link it at the bottom, but it's just one video back. And this is the one we worked on today. I think it came out marvelous. Let's get the original up here. If you like this video, I would so much appreciate a thumbs up. I'm trying to get my channel to grow. Subscribing helps so much, and today's a perfect day to subscribe. Over here, a video is going to pop up, and it's going to be just for you, and I look forward to seeing you over there.